Hi, I'm Holly Andrews, Integrative Nutrition Health Coach and Executive Wellness Coach. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the kitchen. This week I have a power bowl or nourish bowl, whatever you choose to call it for you. I love these things because they, in and of their definition, are a completely balanced meal full of good carbohydrates, good fiber, protein, healthy fats, lots of healthy vegetables, seasonal vegetables in this particular power bowl. And so today I have for you my spring chicken and lentil power bowl. Now, let's talk about what makes this so good for us that helps keep our cortisol balanced, our blood sugar stable. And so that starts obviously with the lentils. Now, lentils are packed full of fiber and they have some protein in them. So if you're plant-based, that is a great option for you. I am using some organic green lentils today. So that is going to help keep our blood sugar stable and prevent those cortisol surges when blood sugar spikes happen. So love the lentils with the fiber and the protein. Obviously, we've got chicken. I've got some high quality chicken breast here for our protein. Our main protein in this dish. Threw some on the grill yesterday when we were grilling hamburgers, so I did not make the chicken today when I was making this meal. I just pulled some of the grilled chicken that we had left over from yesterday, so it made it super easy. This recipe is meal prep friendly, so if you want to make a batch of lentils or if you wanted to use brown rice, whatever you want to use as your base, you could make that a day or advance. If you've got some leftover grilled chicken or other kind of protein, you can use that and kind of throw this meal together with whatever you happen to have in the kitchen. So I love that for that reason as well. We've got tahini in this recipe, and I love tahini. It's full of magnesium, and magnesium is a powerhouse vitamin nutrient that is going to help with keeping our body stable, keeping our stress response stable, stress resilience high. I take magnesium every day. I love the tahini and the magnesium that it brings to help reduce cortisol output. Finally, we've got some olive oil, some fresh herbs. Obviously, the olive oil is going to be anti-inflammatory, is a healthy fat, so keeping all of our digestive systems happy, our brain happy. And so the herbs full of those wonderful vitamins and nutrients. We've got some dill and some parsley in this recipe. Fresh is always best. I picked some up from the farmer's market. I haven't quite gotten my garden going yet this year, so I am relying on our farmer's markets for these herbs right now. Picked some up, parsley and dill, and added those into the recipe for not only the nutrient value, but the visual appeal as well. All of that is wonderful. We've got some seasonal vegetables in here with the asparagus. We talked about asparagus last week. It's a natural diuretic that's packed with folate and prebiotic fiber. So asparagus is a prebiotic food to help feed those good gut bacteria. We've got radishes, those beautiful two-toned radishes, same ones that I used last week. That's going to help detoxify, help support our liver, and keep all of those things moving throughout our bodies that we want to either use or get rid of. That's beautiful. And today I've added in some sugar snap peas. So we love the sugar snap peas. They're rich in antioxidants, rich in vitamin C to help reduce inflammation, support our immune system. So when we support our immune system, we're supporting our stress response as well. We all know that if we have a reduced immune system and we get sick, we get stressed. Illness causes stress, whether it is, felt from a work perspective or whatever. So we want to keep our immune system supported and healthy. And that is exactly what the ingredients in this power bowl do. So let's talk about how easy it was to throw this together. The first thing I did was I got my lentils going. So I chose to use my chicken bone broth, my homemade chicken bone broth for the lentils instead of water. It just adds an extra layer of nutrient density. I love my homemade chicken bone broth, so it's super simple to make. You go watch the recipe, go watch the video and grab the recipe of either the YouTube channel or my website. The link to that in the description below, but it just is full of anti-inflammatory properties, full of antioxidants, full of collagen, which again supports good gut health. So you really can't go wrong using the homemade chicken bone broth in place of water when you are cooking your lentils. So I used 3 cups of the chicken bone broth to 1 cup of the organic green lentils, broth to a boil, added in the lentils, turn that down to a simmer, let them simmer for roughly 20 minutes. And everything else I did to this recipe, with the exception of grilling the chicken yesterday, I did while the lentils were cooking. So you can do this in 20 minutes. It's super simple. After I got the lentils going, I started working on the veggies. So I got my asparagus going so that I could blanch that. Right after I put the lentils on, I put a pot of water on to boil. Once that was boiled, I had my half a cup of chopped asparagus, threw that in the boiling water for 1 minute, and then took the asparagus out, drained it, and put it directly into an ice bath. So it cooks the asparagus to bring it to kind of al dente, which we want. And then by putting it in the ice bath, it stops that cooking process and preserves the beautiful, vibrant green color of the asparagus. While the lentils were cooking, while the water was coming to a boil for the asparagus, I was slicing my radishes and cutting up my sugar snap peas. I also got my herbs diced, chopped finely, about a quarter cup of parsley and a tablespoon of dill. I didn't measure, but I eyeballed it. You can't go wrong with a little extra herbs. If you have a little extra, oh well, your body's just gonna get some extra nutrients. So I didn't measure those, I eyeballed them. But so I got everything ready. I made my dressing. So you know I love the mason jars for dressings like this. So it was 2 tablespoons of tahini. I am using organic tahini, a tablespoon of olive oil, a tablespoon of lemon juice, some garlic. Now the recipe calls for garlic powder. I chose to use the minced garlic. I love garlic because again, it is a prebiotic that feeds your good bacteria in your gut. So we want, again, love that. It keeps it nice and healthy. And then I added in a little bit of Dijon mustard and salt and pepper to taste. Toss that, got that mixed up. I did have to use some warm water or hot water. So probably 2 to 3 tablespoons of hot water just to thin it out because that tahini is really thick. And so to get a dressing consistency that I could easily pour on top, I used about 2 to 3 tablespoons of hot water. So start with 1. You can always add more. You can't take away, right? So I did that until I got the consistency that I wanted. I got my chicken breast, I sliced it up, and right about that time, the lentils were done. So that all took 20 minutes. I drained my lentils and I began to assemble the bowl. Now I used a plate because my bowls here that I have at the house are very deep and it's hard to see all of the pretty colors and foods and ingredients, and I want to make sure that you could get a really good picture of what this bowl looks like. So I plated it instead of putting it in a bowl, but I, put a layer of lentils at the bottom. I kind of tried to make it pretty in terms of I added a little row of my snap peas, my radishes, my asparagus, put the chicken on top of that, sprinkled the herbs on top of the chicken, drizzled on my dressing, and then topped it with a little bit of lemon dill goat cheese that I picked up from our farmer's market. I love the goat cheese at our farmer's market, and I thought the lemon dill would complement this power bowl really well since it does have lemon and dill in it. And this is the final product. Look how pretty that is. So it is beautiful, and I'm going to have this for lunch today. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Check out the blog for the full recipe, link in the description below. And if you haven't checked out my book, Heal Your Stress from the Inside Out, be sure and do that. It is available both on Kindle and paperback on Amazon. So check that out in the link in the description below. And until next time, I'm Holly Andrews, and I believe that you can heal your stress from the inside out.